Welcome to the 2025 orientation ceremony of Phoenix Business School. My name is Madam Eta Lucy, and I want to officially welcome our newest cohort of aspiring leaders, innovators, and change makers who have joined the Phoenix Business School family. To our new students, I would want to say congratulations. You have taken a bold and a life-changing step by joining this vibrant academic community. At Phoenix Business School, we believe in not only building knowledge, but also nurturing character, leadership, and businessmen and women. So today's orientation has been designed to give you a glimpse into what lies ahead. That's to give you a glimpse to the expectations, the opportunities, the empowering journey. And you are going to hear from key faculty members, from administrators who will share their experiences and their guidance. And we hope that at the end of today, you will not only feel informed, but you will be inspired. So whether you're just joining us for the first time, or you have been joining our seminars and our webinars, your future starts here. So to begin, I would just want people to unmute their microphone briefly and tell us about themselves. Just your name and where you work, so we get to understand the students we have in class. I would say this is your first class. So let's just do that for 3 minutes maximum. Just unmute your microphone and introduce yourself. Just your name and where you work. That's all. So we can start with Mr. Ngome. Mr. Ngome, you can start. Just unmute your microphone, Mr. Ngome. Your microphone is muted, Mr. Ngome. Your microphone is muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you to everyone. I'm Ngome Diabe. But that is not my legal names anyway. My name is Ngole Kenneth Diabe, though I prefer being addressed Ngome Diabe. I work in Yaoundé. It's a pleasure to be here. Presently, I'm a school administrator. Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you.
Yes, that's okay. Mr. Itatabot. Yes, Mr. Itatabot. Yes, Mr. Itatabot, you can unmute your microphone and speak.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm Mr. Itatabot. I work in the marketing and advertising industry, and I'm also a cinematographer by profession. But I've been working for quite a good number of years as an advertising executive. So I'm a freelance agent. After working for a couple of companies for a while, now I'm actually a free agent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Itatabot. Thank you. Next person, please. Let's just be snappy. Just unmute your microphone, state your name, and tell us what you do for 1 minute.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thelma, and I work with a microfinance as an accountant, Baku to be precise.
Thank you very much, Thelma. We have Mr. Nde Rene.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rene. I work as a human resource manager for an NGO in Yaoundé.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ande Rene. Next person.
Good evening.
Yes, please, we can hear you.
My name is Nkede Manasseh. I work for Olam Cameroon as accountant.
You're welcome, sir. Next
Thank you.
person.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes,
Good
please, we
evening.
can hear you.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Kelly Mfor. I work with IQ Farm as a business development lead focused on the training and skills acquisition unit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Next person. Okay, so Ma'am Maureen just wrote that she can't hear us. Ma'am Maureen, oh, she can't hear us. She has to activate her microphone. Okay, so welcome everybody. For the sake of time, we'll continue, I guess, by the end of the program, or maybe by the time you have your first class, we'll get to know everybody and what they do. So we're going to start our program. It's a very brief but impactful program. Like I said earlier, it is practically your first class. And we have a very brief program. We'll start by you learning more about FUNIC, especially about FUNIC Business School, about our programs, our partners. And then we're going to discuss briefly about teaching and learning at FUNIC Business School. And then you're going to learn how to use our learning management system. Then, of course, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. So I hope you have your writing materials to jot down questions and, of course, notes. So we are going to commence with the first speaker, which is Dr. Fotabe Elmin, the founder of FUNIC Business School and FUNIC as a whole. Dr. Fotabe is here with us. Dr. Fotabe, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Welcome, Dr. Fotabe. So we are going to start with Dr. Fotabe. Dr. Fotabe would be talking to us about FUNIC and everything you need to know about FUNIC.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Itata, but you can lower your hand. If not, I'll constantly think that you have something to say. So please, the same way you raised your hand, you can lower your hand. So we're all good, Mr. Itatabot. Okay. I see that some people do not have their microphones activated yet. Admin, please help them to activate their microphones so that we all can be on the same page. While I wait for them to do that, I'll start talking about myself. Everyone has introduced themselves. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Amazing profiles. And this evening, I wish I were with you in Cameroon. I wish I were with Mr. Ngome in Yaoundé. Or with Mr. Ita in Kumba or Douala or wherever. But I am in cold Rome. So I bring you greetings from Rome today. But I'll be back with you soon before you know it. So our next class will be together physically. So about me, my name is Elmin. As I'm sure you've heard, I wear many caps. It's okay. Mr. Ita can keep his hand up. It's okay. We're used to seeing it anyways. So I wear many caps. One of them is entrepreneur. I prefer this one because when you're an entrepreneur, you think, you create, you innovate. So I prefer this. But besides that, I teach. I'm a lecturer, and I'm also a philanthropist, as you can call it. I'm very passionate about women and girls and young people in general. So I do a lot of things. I give my time and other resources to help women and girls. So many years ago, in this same city of Rome, the idea of a business came to me. I was in class like you. I'm telling you this because when Madame Lucy started, she said she's hoping that by the time you are leaving, you should be motivated. And that's what I want to do. I was in class like you, studying for a master's degree like you. I'm sure that was a long time ago, probably 2007, 2008. And I was studying for my first master's degree in human resources management in a Mediform Business School here in Rome. And towards the end of the class, our professor asked us a question. We were getting towards the end of our program and we're starting to work on our thesis, and she asked, after this, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with this master's degree? As a typical Cameroonian, I had not thought about it because most times Cameroonians want to go to school. That's what is in our minds. We just want to go to school. We think it is only okay for us to go to school. But that day I had to think, I had to start asking myself, what is it that you want to do? In a class of 30 students, I was sitting at the back, the only Black in school, of course, the only Black person in the whole campus at that time, because I was studying in Italian, not in English. So that's why I was the lone Black person. And as they started from the front asking, there were lawyers in class, architects in class, entrepreneurs, successful people. And they were talking about how they would shape their businesses, how they would change things. And I was thinking like, wow, I've never thought about this before. And by the time they came to me, the idea came to my mind that I am going to use this MBA or this master's also in my country. And it came out like that. And I told them, I am going to use it in my country as well. I am going to start some human resource firm to help Cameroonians to be better employees, to have better opportunities around the world. And they were very impressed that I was thinking of going back home. I was young. And the truth is that I completed my program in April, that 2008. And in April that year, I was in Cameroon to set up that business. That is to tell us that you don't need much to be motivated. You just need to be asked the right questions. You just need to be in the right place. You just need to be in the right group. You just need to have the right people around you. And then you'll be able to get yourself motivated. I say it like this because I don't believe that anybody can motivate you. I believe that you are the only person who can motivate yourself. So if you're here, I want to congratulate you for being here and for taking this bold step. A master's degree is never a joke. In terms of time, in terms of the resources, in terms of commitment, it's never easy. I'll always say that for the next couple of months, there are some things you will have to forego. There are some, for those of us who probably like partying, clubbing on Saturdays, that's when we will have classes. So you may have to forego those ones because you have a goal to achieve. And then after this, you party all you want and do all the things that you want. So I was asked to talk to you about FUNIC, about the program, and about the business school. So if the host will let me, I will share my slides. Please, host, if you would permit me, I'll share my slides. Okay, looks good now. Thank you. Okay, I hope I got the right one. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but somehow nothing is moving here anymore. Okay. Can you see my slides?
Not
No.
yet, not yet, madam. It's saying that you have started sharing your screen.
Yes. Okay. So while it is taking its time, and I don't know why it's taking time, I'll just begin talking about our agenda for the day. It's going to be brief, but we are going to focus on the most important aspects. So I'm going to talk to you about the Phoenix story. Then I'll talk to you about why many times African MBAs are not respected globally. And then I'll also talk to you about, I don't know if my screen sharing is paused, I see. For some reason, it says my screen sharing is paused. So I have to restart. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Can you see it now?
Well, it's still loading. Okay, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
madam can see it.
Who knows why it stopped? Well, okay. I was saying that those are the things that we are going to be discussing. Sorry, Dr. Che, I'm starting now. So if these students need help, anybody who cannot activate their microphone just needs to get out of the meeting, rejoin, and as they're rejoining, they just touch on their microphones to activate it. They don't need a technician, please. So I see some people are still writing that they cannot hear me. So please just get out of the meeting, get back in, touch on the microphone icon, and that's it. You don't need a technician. All right, so I was saying that we are going to be discussing a story. I have said something already about me. I will talk about the realities African MBA graduates face, because over the last couple of years, about 12 to 13 years, I have trained a lot of MBAs. And I know sometimes the challenges that they face, their realities. We're going to talk about them. Then we'll talk about the need for the kind of MBA that you'll be studying with us and masters. So and I'll just generally always talk about MBAs, but all of them are master's degrees, and how we are bridging the gap. So what's our story? Taba University of Cameroon, which many of you know as FUNIC, started many years ago in 2015 in Buea. In 2016, we got authorization in Buea. In 2018, because of the crisis, we relocated to Douala. So many people who knew us in Buea are finding it difficult to understand how today we still were in Douala. So we relocated for the crisis. People who come in should mute their microphones. As you come in, you mute the mic. Admins also, people do not know how to mute their microphones. Please do that so that we are not interrupted. Thank you. And so we relocated in 2018, and today we are in Douala. And one of the things that has always defined us as an institution is the fact that we believe that education must be transformative. At the same time, it must be practical, and then it must hold global relevance. That's our belief. That is why we do all the things we do the way we do them. We believe that education, which is important, education which we need in today's world, is one that has these three basic ingredients, if you want. The first is that it must be able to change something about people. In our case, we're hoping that it changes the way you think, because everything starts from your thoughts. So our education is one that does not follow the status quo. Many people are used to doing things in a certain way, and I know that even among you, there are some people who resist the way you have to learn. But for education to add value to you, you must first of all embrace transformation through that education, and that is our belief. We don't want to do it like everyone else. We don't want to do it the way you're used to doing it. Something has to change, because that's where change starts, from your mind. Secondly, education is supposed to be practical. For so many years now, education that we offer in Africa has been very theoretical, very, very theoretical. People are very smart in terms of memorizing things and reproducing. We're very good. So we now begin to think that we have very high IQ. Maybe we do. But then the world doesn't just need people who can memorize and reproduce. The world needs people who can learn, understand, master, and transmit. That is what the world needs. If you go around the world, you see a lot of things that are happening. You will understand what I'm saying. Over the last couple of days, close to a week or so, I have traveled through a number of countries, from Cameroon to Turkey, then to Belgium, to Rome, to the Netherlands, and back to Rome. And the transformation is just amazing. It's just a few years since I left Europe, and I've come back here. Everything is changed. Why? Because people do not just learn theories. They translate the theories into actions, into tangible things that you can see. For example, when I was still a student in Europe, we used to have what we would say among Cameroonians and Nigerians would say, I go thief train. That's how we used to say it. Like, you don't have a train ticket, but you can board the train, and there are some very mischievous African students, Cameroonian boys, Nigerians, who will teach us that when you want to, as they used to say, thief train, you don't need to enter either right from the front. Don't board the train right from the front or right from the back, board at the middle. And since sometimes the trip is just about 30 minutes, you keep moving so that when the train controller boards, they'll find it very hard to get to you and ask for your ticket. So we used to do that. It was fun. We would do it and laugh and think that we're smart. But today I have come back not as a young student. I have come back as a professional, as an entrepreneur, and that system has changed. Everything has changed. Now, even you don't need a controller, because there are the automatic machines where you have to scan your ticket before you even have access to the platforms where the trains are. Why is the transformation so fast? But here am I have been in Cameroon at least for the last 10 years or so, stable in Cameroon, and I haven't seen this much transformation. Why? Because we learn things, we are interested in knowing those things, reproducing them, but not translating them into change, something that can add value to anyone's life. That is why in this classroom, you would find fewer people than in a classroom where they are doing a master's degree in history, or they are doing a master's degree in English language, or they are doing a master's degree in some other strange courses. Not that they are not important, but there are things that are more important at certain times of a people's history. So you want to look at where you are in your history and what is important at that time. There are times when, okay, the history will become very relevant as it is to these people here because they have reached a certain level. So education, which is important, has to be practical. And that is what you're going to find here. It's not theory. It's not coming to class and listening to a lecturer and then going home and taking notes and going home. No, it's not like that. It is you, everything a lecturer tells you, you should be able to use that to transform something, to create something, to make something, to innovate. That is the education. And then the third ingredient I mentioned is it has to be globally relevant. Not just relevant in Cameroon, but relevant everywhere. And that is where many of our local programs are lacking. They do not have the global relevance. Sometimes if they do have, they have only international relevance. No, there's a difference between global and international. Many can have that international. It means that they study all the Western models without local models. And at the end of the day, it ends at the level of theory because there is no possibility of transmitting to the local realities. But we are focused on making sure that the education that you have is globally relevant, not just local relevance, but global relevance. So now let us talk about FUNIC and transition to the school where you're studying. FUNIC has 10 schools. Schools are like faculties. It is good that you know your school, and very soon you're going to see why. We have 10 schools. Some people will decide to call them 10 faculties. We are calling them schools. So when you see that there is a school of engineering or school of business and finance, it is not a separate entity. They are just the faculties that make up FUNIC. So there are 10 of them. We have the business school where you belong. There is the School of Engineering, there is the School of Business and Finance, there is the School of Management, the School of the Language School, the Summer School, the Trade School, School of Legal Studies, School of Travel and Tourism Management, and then School of Journalism and Communication. But what is of interest to you who are in this hall today is the business school. So you don't get confused between the business school and then the School of Business and Finance. So there are two different things. Now, for all the other 9 schools, they are undergraduate schools. All of them are undergraduate. So students can study the HND or the bachelor's degrees in all these 9 schools. But there is one school which is different. That is the business school. That's for the seniors like us. That's for the professionals. That is the business school. So the first thing I want to ask all of us to do now is that if we're here and then we're not following the business school, FUNIC Business School on LinkedIn or on Facebook, it should be our first assignment. And you're going to see why this is very important that you do, please, so that you can identify with what we do. And I'll show you very soon why it's so important. So these are the 10 schools that make up FUNIC. And our learning philosophy, all our philosophy in general, we always say higher learning for a higher purpose. So we embrace higher education for a higher purpose. I like the last 2 words, higher purpose. The higher purpose to us is this change of mindset, because there is nothing that any human being can do without a transformation in their mindset. Why are we talking about transformation? Because usually the world goes either towards one direction or the other direction. So if you're in a place like where I am now, you will see that the world is going, everything to them now is capitalism. It's about the money, and that's everybody's running, everybody's rushing, it's fast. And then when it comes to us, Africans, Cameroonians, most times it's about emotions, how we feel about things. And that feeling is what fuels any action that we take. I'll take a very simple but very sensitive example. I'm not in Cameroon now, but I watched on social media and I saw that yesterday some places were burnt down. Places in Chang, I think, people burn them down. There is one simple explanation. Emotions. That's how emotional Africans are. It means that we get so emotional that we do not know how to control that. We don't become rational to think that, okay, we can disagree, but not destroy. So if you come to a city like Rome, they call it the ancient city, you would find buildings that are hundreds of years old. They are there. Everyone is guarding them. It's like their treasure. That is what brings tourists to their city, to their country. I was in the Netherlands. I went to Breda. Breda is an old city. You go there, you would see windmills that are 300 years old. The city is old, but people are coming from everywhere to see those windmills, to see that ancient city. It is beautiful. Now in Cameroon, when we get angry, we burn. Emotions. When we get happy, we celebrate, we drink, we spend all our money, we do all the wrong things. Sometimes we even die in the course of the celebration. Emotions. So if we want to get to that higher purpose, there must be a transformation in our minds to know that everything in life is a balance. I have to be able to balance, not to go towards an extreme every time. That's our philosophy. So we do not just focus here on transferring knowledge, but we want to inspire you to start thinking today about what to do after you leave this place, after you leave this program. How will your community feel the impact of what you have learned? That is what we are thinking about. Because most times people just want these certificates for them, for their families. They go to work, they earn much money, they take their families on vacation, they build big houses. Is that all there is about life? Our communities, our societies have given us a lot. So what do we give back? That's the higher purpose that we have to start thinking about. And definitely we cannot be thinking of giving back something to our communities and destroying our communities. It cannot work like that. So our philosophy is this higher learning or higher education for a higher purpose. What's our mission? Why was FUNI created? It's simple. My best, when I look at our mission statement, empowering ethical leaders to transform institutions and communities through intrapreneurial and entrepreneurial excellence. The one thing that catches my attention is the ethical. We need it. The idea is not just to empower leaders, but it is to empower ethical leaders, because we have had a lot of issues. We still do have a lot of issues in Africa, all because of lack of ethics. So if you are here, one of the things that you have to take when you're living here is to do right. Do right. We are here because we want to raise leaders who are ethical, leaders who respect the law, leaders who are not going to support corruption in any way. That's the idea, because that's what kills companies, that's what kills societies, that's what kills countries. And so our mission is to be able to raise this generation of ethical leaders who will transform institutions, who will transform communities through intrapreneurial and entrepreneurial excellence. Intrapreneurial, if you're already working in a company, you can still bring transformation. Entrepreneurial, if you want to start something for yourself, you can still bring transformation. But the key word I started saying from the beginning is transform. So you see transform keeps coming back, transform. And there is no magic. It has to start from you if you are in this hall. So that is our mission. Our vision is to see an African society where rare skills are found in common people and where no youth will feel compelled to leave their home because they are poor. That is our vision, saying that we can stay home and make it. That's the idea. If you want to leave home, it should not be because you're poor. Maybe because you want to explore, maybe because you want to learn, maybe because you want to see other things, maybe because you want to create, maybe because you want to forge partnerships. It shouldn't be because we're poor. So education should be able to lift every African up, and it can only happen if we have the right kind of education. And so our core values, I started talking about them. We call them pride. In Phoenix, we call our core values pride. Professionalism, respect, integrity, diversity, and excellence. My favorite again is integrity, because that's where the difference is made. You can be the best professional. If you lack integrity, you're not going far in your career. If you are the best, somebody can say you're the most respectable person, respectful if you like, but if you lack integrity, you're not going far. And if you cannot embrace diversity, knowing that people around you will be different, but we all have something to contribute, you will not go far. And then excellence, we will do it right the first time and we'll continue to work hard to do it right. So this is what makes us, this is what shapes everything that we do, the core values of pride. Now about your school, the Phoenix Business School. I said earlier that the Phoenix Business School is for the seniors. So it is the graduate arm of Phoenix. So all the other 9 schools are undergraduate. This is the graduate arm of Phoenix. And the programs that are run under this business school are focused on core aspects like strategic leadership and management, entrepreneurship and innovation, applied action-oriented learning, research especially, global readiness, that is it, I talked about it already, and professional excellence. So the programs run under Phoenix Business School, the master's programs and the executive certification programs basically. So for masters, we have the Masters of Business Administration, which is MBA. We have the Master of Science, which is MSc, the top up. And I want to talk briefly about that program. Most MBA programs in Western business schools today are run for 12 months, right? So the duration is 12 months. Because they are designed for professionals who are not looking at furthering education, but are looking at improving the way they work. So even 2 of my own master's degrees, actually 3 of them, had that duration of 1 year. My master in human resource management was 1 year. My master in marketing and communications, 1 year. My Master of Business Administration in International Business, the MBA in International Business, 1 year. So all those programs were 1 year programs. Now, in Cameroon and many parts of Africa, students like to crisscross. I say crisscross because in education, there are 2 pathways. There is the academic pathway and there's the professional pathway. In Cameroon, the academic pathway is you start from after advanced level, you pursue maybe a Bachelor of Science degree in economics, in physics, in whatever those state universities offer. So it's a BSc. I'm sure that some people here have BSc degrees. Now, after the BSc, after the 3 years or 4 years, if you're in the Catholic University, then you can study for the Master of Science, which they call the MSc, which is 2 years. And then from there, you can go to the PhD. So this is the academic pathway in Cameroon. BSc, MSc, PhD. That is the pathway. And mostly, it is getting to the PhD for people who want to stay in academia. So they want to teach, they want to research, and all of that. Now, in our country, when you get to the master's level, you can easily crisscross. So I study an MSc, and I decided I don't want to go for that to the PhD. I get into the corporate world, it's fine. I decided I want to go into academia, I go to the PhD, it's fine. I get into the university settings. Now, there is the other pathway, which is the professional pathway. In Cameroon, what they have done is they have designed it to start from the higher national diploma. I'm sure all of us know about HND. That's a professional pathway. So it is either you do the higher national diploma, 2 years, plus the top up 1 year they call Bachelor of Technology, 1 year to top it up to have the bachelor's, the MBA, right? So in many parts of the world, including Cameroon, this professional pathway ends at the level of the MBA. That is the highest qualification in business, that professional business pathway. Now, a few years ago, not many years ago, Harvard Business School developed the Doctor of Business Administration program, which now they want to equate to the PhD. So in this professional business pathway, the highest now in many countries is the Doctor of Business Administration, which is DBA. But commonly, it is still the MBA. So you have the HND, the Bachelor of Technology, G, and then the MBA. Now, the problem is that if we want to equate them, the MSc is done for 2 years in Cameroon. The MBA is done for 1 year in many parts of the world. When you now take this 1 year MBA and you bring to Cameroon and you say you want to do a PhD, they will tell you that no, you can't do a PhD because the admission requirement is that you have done a 2-year master's degree program. I hope we are getting this very clear, it's very important. They will say they want you to have a 2-year master's degree program. So you have done a 1-year master's degree program, so you can't do it. Even if it is UB that issued that MBA for 1 year, they will tell you that they cannot take you for their PhD program because you have done just 1 year, right? Remember that in Francophone Cameroon, there was something that they used to call Maîtrise 1 and Maîtrise 2. That is to give them the 2 years. Maîtrise 1 is like first year of the master's program, then the second year. So in Cameroon, they consider that 1 year MBA to be like the Maîtrise 1. So if you want to get into their PhD programs, they will tell you that you will top it up. You do another 1 year, then they will give you an MSc. That is what we call the MSc top-up. That is for Cameroon. It is not universal. So in many other countries with your MBA, they can admit you into their PhD program. So when you are looking at, you're looking for admissions, you just have to go and look at the admission requirements to understand what they want. I'm saying it like this clearly so that people do not get the wrong ideas that if you have an MBA everywhere in the world, you have to come and do it top up. No, I'm saying that it is in Cameroon. When you have done a 1 year MBA, they will tell you that you should do another 1 year. That's why sometimes some people prefer the 2 years. So these are the two pathways. Now we offer both. Somehow, we have the BSc program, but we do not have the 2-year MSc. So we have the 3-year BSc program. We have our MBA. If you want to have your top up, we have the top up still. UB would issue. Then we have the DBA program as well, which is Doctor of Business Administration, with one of our partners that we are going to see very soon. So these are all the things that we do at that level. So everything which is at the level of the business school, FUNIC Business School, is above the bachelor's level, it's above the first degree level. It's beyond that. So we have the master's programs, all of them, MBA, Master of Science top-up, the Doctor of Business Administration, and executive certification programs. Now, there is this question that we have to answer. What are the challenges that African MBA master's graduates face? Like I said earlier, I have trained hundreds of them, and I know that some of them face lots of challenges, and those challenges I want to discuss them today. The first challenge that African MBA graduates face is limited global recognition. So the truth is, many times, if you go into international organizations, multinational companies, and they're hiring people, and you bring a degree which you say you got from Institut Supérieur, something, and then somebody brings their certificate which they said they got from l'Université de Louvain, something in Belgium. The tendency is that people always tend to respect the one that has a foreign touch more than the one that is some Institut Supérieur, there's something in China or in Bafoussam, you know. And I think that it is explained as well. It is explained because sometimes truly the programs are weak, and some people have gotten an experience with some graduates who could not really add value. So I have heard many employers who tell me that this now in Cameroon, everyone wants to do an MBA. When they do an MBA, they cannot make any difference in the company. So that recognition is a bit weak. The second challenge we have as Africans is that we have very small global networks. Now, I told you a while ago that if you're not following the FONIC Business School page on LinkedIn, you should do so. This is where, unfortunately, in Africa, we get everything wrong. I was telling somebody in the DBA class that when they sent me the ranking of African universities, and they said, oh my goodness, Cameroon is nowhere to be found. I said, yes, it's as explained. Why? Because there are things that we don't value here, but that affect us as Africans. One of them is that we do not understand the meaning of belonging to an alumni network, especially master's alumni. Now, when you even now, I am here, when I get to town and I post something, my classmates in 2007, 2008 will be writing to me, oh, are you in town? Let's hang out for a beer. It's still like that. And just imagine I'm coming here to do business and I go into a company where one of my former classmates is working. As soon as they'll see my name, whether you like it or not, it's human that I'll be giving some preferential treatment. It's normal. They want to see me because one of the things is they know that we all have a certain kind of education. We all have a certain kind of culture. Now, one of the criteria that they use to rank universities, and please take this home. Many times we are the ones who run down our institutions and say, oh, look at this, Cameroon is nowhere to be found. We are the first ones to go online and say it like that. While the Finnish people will be online every day doing videos on YouTube talking about how the Finnish education is the best in the world, Cameroonians will make those same videos and talk about how our education is the worst in the world. We do that. And then when we are not ranked, we still come and cry foul. We cannot have it both ways. It is either we build it or we break it down. It's as simple as that. This is education. Now, for you as a person to have value, you have to show the world that when you study, there was value. It's simple. If you are the first one to go and be saying that, oh, UB education is rubbish, you are rubbishing your own credentials. It's just like that. Now, they want to rank institutions. One of the first criteria is they want to look at the success rates They want to look at. Please mute your microphones. Mute your microphones. Oh, thank you very much, clients. I think that is Maureen. So I was saying that one of the criteria they use to rank universities is the success of the alumni. You know alumni? Ex-students. So usually before ranking, they will send out links for alumni to vote for the best universities. And these people here take those things very seriously. So every alumni will go and vote. And they'll write, where do you work now? They will put where they work. How has this MBA transformed your life? They will write it, they will put it. And they send it to Cameroonians. How many of us take the time to even look at those links? How many of us? It's not by magic that ranking happens. We don't want to do it. We don't belong to the alumni network. If you go to their pages, you would see they have 40,000 alumni. Go to our own pages in Cameroon, Living University of Buea. They don't have up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 alumni. With the thousands of people who have graduated from those institutions, we just don't know the importance. We don't. Yet we want our institutions to be ranked among the best. How? How? So that's one of the second challenge that we face, is that we have very smaller alumni bases and limited multinational recruitment opportunities. Alumni bases open up recruitment opportunities for you. Please, just go today after this, update your profile and put that you have started your master's degree with FUNIC Business School today. It is the best way to link with all other alumni around the world. And when people have opportunities, they first share with people in their alumni networks. In Africa, generally speaking, our alumni networks are very small. And we want to start pushing that, especially at this level. That's the second challenge we face. The third, visa and work barriers. Most times, we cannot travel. We cannot explore. Even when we are going for international study tours, like we used to do, sometimes even the destinations are limited because some destinations will not accept to give visas to our own students. Of course, because also of the history of what we have created out here. People come for study tours and they disappear. So that also makes it very difficult for us to be able to meet, exchange with global faculty, other students from other countries, so they can even change their perception of our own programs. We do not have that most of the time. The fourth is the perception of the employers. Like I said, many times they think that African programs are weak. Employers think like that. But sometimes I was having a discussion the other day in the Netherlands, and I told them, that perception, you're not wrong to have that perception, because most times we give you that. It's not even a perception, it's an explanation that we give. When we sit with them and they start asking, how is your education in Africa? The normal thing for Africans to do is to run down their education. Has anybody else had that experience? Africans will start telling you, our own education in Cameroon. I was in the Netherlands to sign a partnership, and we were looking at the curriculum. So they looked at my curriculum, I looked at that. And at first they said, well, your own curriculum is quite, it looks like it is quite, I said, quite what? Then they understood and said, well, it's different from ours. I said, yes, different is the word, because we have different realities and different needs from you. You cannot have the same needs. So you develop your courses as per the needs of this European market. We develop our curriculum as per the needs of our environment. If I didn't do that, usually they would say, yours is a bit, they will always want to water it down. And then they give global recruiters this perception that our own education is weak. Again, if you like to take this from me, it's usually not the perception. It is what we sell. Every time I talk about this, I tell people that America may not be the best country in the world, but Americans have sold their dream to us. They have sold it to us as the best country in the world. What do we sell about us, about our education? We sell it as the worst. Anytime you put something online, lambasting your education system, that's what you're telling recruiters. That's what you're telling people out there. There is a lot of good in our education, and that is what we must promote. They continue to say that they have the best, but every day in the background, they are working to improve. We continue to say we have the worst and we don't do anything about it. So it comes back to haunt us. It comes back to haunt us. Can we pay for their education? We can't. We cannot pay for their education the way they pay here. So when we have ours, let us all build the value of the education we have. So this is a challenge that we face, which is partly created by us, the perception, that misconception that our quality is low. And I'll just tell you a story about the rigor of African programs. So one of our partners is the Eurasian Management and Administration School, EMAS, in Russia. We do some MBA programs with them and our doctorate program with them as well. So during our last defense, I think we had about 5 students who were defending, and well, their defenses are very closed because people talk about their company secrets, so we don't open it up to the public, to the media. So it's very small, secluded ceremony. And the chairman of the jury, of that jury, was the rector of the EMAS Business School, who was joining us online. And he was there throughout. We did the defense, you know, how defense sessions are held in Cameroon. After that, when we're deliberating on results, he made a remark. And he said, I want to thank you very much for how you have managed this defense. We have partners around the world, in Nigeria, in Eastern Europe, and some other countries in Africa. What we usually see is that there is no rigor in the defense sessions. It means that he was telling us that students sometimes are given questions beforehand. So the jury will give them questions, that these are the questions we are going to ask you, prepare for these questions and you come and answer. And he said that's what he was expecting to see here. But he has come here and we are just asking questions and surprising the candidates. And he said, wow, and not easy questions, difficult questions. So I want to really thank you for the rigor. That got me thinking a lot. So you see, these people always come to us with that perception that our own things are easy, our own things are always somehow. And if we continue to give them grounds to think like that, that's how they keep rubbishing our certificate. These are the challenges that we face. And another big challenge is that in many programs that you see around, the global exposure is very limited. The faculty is not exposed. Students do not have possibility of international travels, global colleagues and exchange programs that can open their minds up to what is happening around the world. So that's another challenge that African students face. We have other challenges like infrastructure and technology. So many people still find it very hard to do things with technology. Many do not even have a basic learning management system. Programs that are a little bit good are very costly. Very, very costly, we can see. We also have cultural biases. One of them that we noticed was when the Russians started teaching our students were feeling, oh, their accent is very different. It's not like us. You know, the way they communicate with students, they are very direct. It's not the way we do it here. So a little bit of challenge there. And then a big problem is that in Phoenix Business School, we use case studies to teach. So you are going to be studying a lot of case studies. Most of the case studies that we can find, that we can share with our students, are from Western companies. We have very few local case studies here. That is, you will learn about companies like Avon, You will learn about companies like McDonald's, like Netflix, like Google, Facebook, but we have very few case studies here that help you study about local companies like Canal2, like Taricon Credit Union, like what NFC Bank. You have very few case studies. So most times what we learn is not even applicable to our context. And so it makes it that even within Africa, our MBA graduates find it very hard to integrate. And that's one of the things we do. We are writing case studies. Students are trained to write case studies because that's the only way they can learn about what happens in the companies around here, around where they study. You have to master what happens around Africa before you even go global. And then we have leadership. Because of the way our companies are structured, our policies, progression route for people with MBA and master's degrees are quite slow. And so many times the people do not see even the need for progression. But we are trying to make sure that the kind of master's education you receive from here solves all those 10 challenges we mentioned. Every time we sit down to review our curriculum, to recruit lecturers, we are looking at those 10 challenges. What do we do to mitigate these challenges so that our graduates are not disadvantaged? I can tell you that over the years, it has worked for us, because if you followed us the last couple of weeks, we held about 4 webinars, all with our alumni working in every sector around the world. And so you can really, and they'll tell you how their MBA program really prepared them for where they are right now, from the United Nations to the World Bank, to the African Union, to the biggest companies in Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, other countries. That tells you that there is something that we are doing right. And when you get into class and you meet many of these alumni who are coming back to teach you, it means that we've understood where the problem used to be, and we are taking steps to correct that. So right now, you do not need the kind of education that limits you. You do not need the kind of education that cages you to Africa. You need the kind of education that helps you to grow with the way Africa is growing. You need people who can think, people whose MBA is not considered as an African MBA. This is what I've always refused. When you are an MBA, you are an MBA. You are not an African MBA. You are an MBA. You are a master. When they say you are an MBA, it means that you're a master of business administration. This is what it means. And there is no way I want to accept that anybody graduates from here and is considering themselves as an African MBA. You are not, which means that you should be able to compete at the global level. It means that you should be able to have the same conversations with MBA graduates, master's graduates from Harvard, from Yale, and all the other institutions. That is what it is. Because here we are, the curriculum, 80% of what you study here is what they study as well. We're not reinventing the wheels. Nothing. There are no models. They are using case study approach we are using. We are even doing other things that they are not doing. We are studying a lot of African models that they know nothing about. We are doing our entrepreneurship laboratory, as you are going to see, that they are not doing. So when you are having your MBA and you are leaving, you should be telling yourself that I am a global MBA. If they take you today and they drop you in the US and they say, have a conference, have a conversation with other MBAs, you should be able to have the same conversation. This is where I usually fight with students. And you are going to be seeing that in class. There is nothing like, oh, you're in Cameroon. The same rigor that I would expect from my classmates who were here, that they expected from us when we studied here, I expect that from everybody in this hall. That's what it is, so that you can compete. That's why you need this kind of MBA. Most MBAs, I just said, they will focus on traditional. They will teach you about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They will teach you about some communication models in the West that do not apply to our cultural context. we have to make sure that there's a fusion, so you understand the local context and you can apply that globally as well. So one of the key things, if somebody is going to ask you what makes the FUNIC MBA and master's degrees different, is basically that Africanness, as I like to call it, that we bring into it. And this is new. It's just over the last two years or so that we started really doing a lot of research and bringing all these African models, because we were not able to find them. People were not writing. There were no case studies. They were not African models. So we ourselves, most of the students started in their thesis, they started working out some models around African realities that now we are bringing back to teaching class. This is what really makes that difference now in our MBA. So there are basically 4 things we do to help you to overcome all those barriers, 10 barriers that we mentioned before. The 4 things are this: our partnerships, our curriculum, our study models, and our global orientation. So if you look at all those 10 challenges, you would see that these 4 solutions would handle them all. This is how we have made sure that every time we will continue to redefine ourselves so that we can help students to overcome those challenges. Now, our partnerships, we have very important partnerships. Here I am going to I have listed just the academic partners, but we have also the corporate partners. If I were talking to undergraduate students, I would have been talking to them about the corporate partners, but I'll talk about these academic partners because most of you work already. So we have the University of Buea. We have, many of you'll be having your MBA certified by the University of Buea. We have the IMAS Business School in Russia. Some of you, your MBAs will be certified by IMAS. If you are doing DBA, your DBA is certified by IMAS. Until last year, we had the Rome Business School. And now we still have current students who have not defended yet, but they are the last batch of our Rome Business School students because now we have replaced that partnership with Rome Business School with the Netherlands Business Academy. I'm actually here for that. Yesterday or Wednesday, we signed the partnership. And because we've seen that the study model will add more value to our African students than what we used to have with the Rome Business School. And so these are the 3 key academic partners that we have right now. And one of the things that we saw in the Netherlands Business Academy that we couldn't get with Rome Business School is the European Union scholarships for African students, which is very attractive to us, very, very attractive. So now our students will study for 3 semesters in Cameroon and complete 1 semester in the Netherlands. And they can get the complete European Union scholarship to sponsor their trip and their stay in the Netherlands to complete the program. So that's one of the very exciting things that we saw. And then we thought, okay, then we would prefer to do this. This is very, very interesting to us. So these are the partnerships that we have now in terms of academics. With these partners, we continue to work together to strengthen the curriculum, to exchange teachers, to exchange ideas, so that our students can have that global relevance. If any one of you here is thinking of the Netherlands Business Academy, I've given you a small idea. It's a dual degree. It means that you have the MBA from the University of Buea and then the MBA from the Netherlands Business Academy. But to do that, you must be able to spend 1 semester in the Netherlands. It's the law in the Netherlands. For them to issue you their MBA, you must spend a semester here. So you factor that. More information you can get later after this. Our curriculum, like I said before, is both African and global. Now we are bringing, also cannot talk about curriculum without talking about who transmits the curriculum, our faculty. Like I said, some of you we started profiling some of our faculty on our LinkedIn page. So if you go on our LinkedIn, you'll find some of the faculty. If you have received our brochure, you will see some of the faculty. Many of them, I think about 80% or so, are alumni of FUNIC Business School who understand our culture, they understand our orientation, and they are working all around the world where they have also seen what happens in other companies, and then they are bringing that back to the classroom. And so you would find that melange very interesting. And then we have our courses, our specialized courses that are developed by us, our curriculum together with our industry partners. We sat down, we developed some courses that are needed. For example, there is a first semester course that you would do. Everybody who has not had up to 2 years of relevant working experience, I say it because if you want to study logistics and transport, for example, or you've taught for 2 years in a primary school, or you've taught for 10 years in a primary school, you don't have 2 years of relevant working experience in logistics. So you would need to take that course, and that course, we developed the course, it is called Managerial Career Readiness. So we are preparing you for a managerial career in that new chosen field of yours. That's a course that we developed. There's another course we developed, which is Entrepreneurship Laboratory. That is one of our very core courses. It's our signature course. I'll discuss it briefly. And then we also have the Strategic Corporate Management, which is also our course that we developed that brings together a lot of the things that we think that managers need. So we have developed these unique courses. Even our Applied Business Research course was developed by us, and to respond to the needs that we have seen on the market. So this is how we use our curriculum to also help our students and graduates navigate those 10 challenges I mentioned. Our study models, I talked already about the Entrepreneurship Laboratory. It is like a laboratory, as you're going to see. Every student in FUNIC goes through that laboratory, FUNIC Business School. So it's like you get into a lab to understand what entrepreneurs think about, how they go about developing new ideas, putting those ideas down in paper, making sure that they can prototype things, launch it in the market, monitor it to see how it grows. So throughout your time here, you're going to do that. You're going to think of businesses, you're going to think of products, you're going to think of everything, get into the laboratory, create them first on paper, take them to the laboratory or to the factories or wherever, create them, sell them, fix them, refine them. By the time you are living here, it is either you want to pursue that as your business or you want to sell that to someone. That is the best way you can learn the entrepreneurial mindset, not by me transmitting it to you. So that's one of our flagship courses and models, because it's both a course and it's a model. We have our global programs as well, where we have international projects, we have simulations, we have international study tours, cultural exchanges. Actually, we have one international study tour coming up in December. We are going to Dubai. So if you're here and you have not registered for that international study tour, please do that. We also have hands-on learning, where we do a lot of experiential learning, solving practical problems, and our applied and action research are actually based on solving real problems. So in FUNIC Business School, for example, your research is not going to be abstract. Like maybe you did at the undergraduate where you just go get some topic, the impact of cold water on dark skin, for example, you come and research. Is not like that. And the research is you are seeing a problem where you work or in another company that you know, and you want to solve that problem. And so you're coming, and through your research, you can find out why that problem is existing, what that company has done to solve that problem, the challenges that they face, and then you come out with a real solution, actionable solution, not recommendations, solutions, models, products, tools that you can hand over to them and say, take and solve that problem. That's what we do. And then we also have professional certifications, our own certifications that students can take as part of lifelong learning, and other certifications that we encourage our students to pursue. So our global orientation programs, we are looking at doing them both virtually and globally. So if you cannot even travel sometimes for our cultural exchanges, there are virtual means for you to still discover. Maybe we are going to India to go discover there are some business cultures in certain parts of India, and you cannot go there physically. There are other virtual means that we develop for students to still get into those cultures and still understand those things, because it's very important for you to develop the cultural intelligence that can help you to fit in the global marketplace. I've talked about continuing and lifelong education through our certifications. These are the 3 certifications that we have now. We continue to work to add them, to make them more far-reaching, I should say, because they must respond to needs that we've seen in the market. So this is the Executive Certificate in Applied Business Research. It is really about solving problems, what the biggest consultancy firms in the world do. Those are the things that you learn to do here. How do they solve problems in the world? When you see the big 5 consultancy firms, what is it that makes them different? That is what you learn here. And the good thing is that you will learn this as part of your courses. So you learn this applied business research as one of your first courses, your first semester courses. Now, if you want the certification, you only write the certification exam, but you'll be taught this for free since you're already part of FUNIC Business School. The second certification is the Career Acceleration Certification Program, which I mentioned as Career Readiness. So again, you are taught this, and if you want the special certification, you just write the certification exams. This one helps to prepare people to move from one level of management to another level of management. So you learn problem solving, you learn C-suite management and leadership, you learn all the things that are done at the highest levels of companies. And the third one is the Certificate in Entrepreneurial Innovation. Students who have gone through our eLab Entrepreneurship Laboratory can also just write these exams directly and have the certification, because this is where you learn the startup experience, innovation lab. You can create products, you can create tools and everything. So those are the certification programs. I have been talking for 1 hour, and now I want to ask you to talk as well. Thank you. So tell me if you have questions. Any questions? I'm ready to answer all your questions now. If you don't have questions, it only means one of 2 things. That I explained very well, or that you are very smart and you got everything I explained. So thank you very much. I'm waiting for your questions. Admin, Madam Etta, if you're there, you can coordinate the questions. I will take them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fatabe. So you can just ask your questions, please. You can unmute your microphone, you can raise your hands, or you can even drop your questions in the chat box.
So some people say they can, okay, I think that they have been able to unmute now. Okay. Thank you. So one of the things, while people are thinking of their questions, one of the things that I did not mention, because I'm not talking about learning in FUNIC yet, I was just introducing you to FUNIC. One of the things I didn't say is that everybody speaks in FUNIC. You speak more than the lecturers, because every class is a presentation, every class. So anybody who feels a bit apprehensive about talking, sorry, once you come here, every day you have to talk, every day. Like I said before, we do not believe in lecturers just coming to class and giving lectures for 2-3 hours and leave. Everybody, every day you have an assignment, you have to present findings, you have to, so just learn from today how to start.
I think I have a question.
Please, thank you very much for opening the floor.
My question is about, I'm a bit confused about this because I understand from what you are saying that this MBA coursework will be delivered by FUNIC faculty. You mentioned partnership with the University of Buea and the EMA Business School. I understand that everyone in this program will be lectured, will be taught by the same teachers, the same lecturers. If I understand what you said, the only difference will be the certification. We all do the same thing. We are taught by the same lecturers. So my question is the class segmented? Is the class segmented? Because I discovered in terms of cost, for example, that the certification by EMA's Business School, because the communication on the website claim that the courses are taught specifically by Russian faculty only. So I want to know whether there will be a difference in course delivery, whether it's segmented, whether those to be certified by EMA's Business School will be taught by Russian faculty, while those to be certified by the University of Buea will be taught perhaps by FUNIC's own faculty or lecturers from the University of Buea.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I really did not talk about it. One of the things I said is that we all the lecturers always work together, learn together, exchange. We always exchange ideas, methods, methodologies, tools, and all of that. Now, if you're here and you have registered for the EMAS program, 100% of your courses are taught by EMAS lecturers. Take note. 100% of your courses are taught by Russian faculty. Now, what Cameroonian faculties like myself will do is tutorials. So we'll do tutorials with you. We have what we call the FUNIC executive weekend programs. I'm sure one was supposed to be held before. I'm sure it's because of your elections that you're not holding that program this weekend, I guess. So that is where the Cameroonian faculty will come in to help with tutorials. But the courses themselves, the exams and everything will be taught by the Russian faculty. This is if you are doing the EMAS program. Is that okay for EMAS?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now I'll go to the University of, I'll go now with the FUNIC program, which is certified by the University of Buea. The cooperation law with the University of Buea and FUNIC says that 30% of the lecturers who teach on that program will come from the University of Buea. 30% of the lecturers. Now, 70% of the lecturers are FUNIC lecturers. Why is this? Because we develop our courses, right? We develop our courses and the University of Buea certifies. So the courses that you come and do, like the entrepreneurship laboratory, like the managerial career readiness, the global outlook programs, if you're doing the same, you're doing the MBA with the University of Buea, for example, those courses are not there. They are our courses. But now there are some universal courses like managerial economics, for example, that everyone does around the world. Everyone knows that. That kind of course can be taught by the lecturers from the University of Buea, because that's what the cooperation law says. So 70% of the lecturers will be our lecturers and 30% will be from the University of Buea. That's what the law says. Is that okay?
That's okay, man.
Now let's go to the Netherlands Business Academy, which is a dual program. Like I said, 3 semesters are studied in Cameroon by the students, which means that for those 3 semesters, 30% of the courses will be taught by UB lecturers, 70% will be taught by FONIC lecturers, and the one semester is done in the Netherlands, taught by the Netherlands Business School, Business Academy lecturers. That is why in terms of costs, they are very different.
Okay, ma'am, just a follow-up question.
Yes.
Just a follow-up question.
Please.
One thing bothers me.
Yes.
I have been thinking about this. In fact, I was looking at to ask this question during this session. The question is about the recognition, of the MBA certificate at the end of the day. Please, ma'am, is there any advantage, any specific advantage a mass certified MBA would have, for instance, over the University of Wales certified MBA? And would there be any disadvantage an MBA certified by mass will have, since it is unlikely to fit in with our business, with the realities of our environment, business environment, job environment? How recognized would such an MBA be in our context?
Okay. Thank you again. That's a very nice question. I know that I talked about perception a while ago. So I'll start with our local, I don't like to use the term local, with our University of Buea MBA. Now, higher education is a very complex kind of thing. When you are in higher education, it is very complex. It means you leave Cameroon and you go to Nigeria, the laws change. You leave Nigeria, you come to Rome, the laws change. You go to the Netherlands, the laws change. Everywhere, higher education is highly regulated and so very complex. So higher education laws in different countries are very different. Now, the first thing that you must know when you want to decide which kind of certification to have in terms of masters is to think of your career plans. What is it that you want to do with the master's degree after you get it? Now, I'll start with our context. If you want to work in Cameroon, if you think that after a master's degree, you want to work in Cameroon, maybe you're looking at the parastatal, maybe you're looking at the government, you're looking at, and you want to grow, then our UB MBA becomes the best choice for you. Not because of, I don't know, the depth of the studies or whatever, it's just because of one thing: certification. Now, all of us who studied abroad, when we returned to Cameroon and we wanted to do anything in Cameroon, like to lecture in the universities or anything, you have to go through higher education to get what they call the equivalence, right? To get what, so you take your certificate from anywhere around the world, everybody, whether you study at Harvard, or you want to come and do something now in the Cameroonian milieu sector, that is something that is linked to the government. You will go to the Ministry of Higher Education and ask them to give you an equivalent of that certificate. It means that the Ministry of Higher Education will take that your PhD or that master's or whatever that you have brought, look at it vis-a-vis the Cameroonian context and tell you that, okay, this matches with our master's program, say, or it doesn't match, right? That has nothing to do with quality control. It has nothing to do with anything. They just want you now to be able to have something to show that, okay, what you have studied meets our standards. Okay, it can be higher than our standards, but we'll tell you that it meets the standards, fine, that's it. So all of us who have studied abroad, we have to go through that sometimes long process, can take sometimes 2, 3, 4 years to get it. And so if you are looking at, okay, I'm returning to Cameroon and I want to write a concours to enter University of Yaoundé to lecture, you will have to wait until that equivalence comes out. That's the problem. You wait until, sometimes it can take 3, 4, 5 years. So if you're looking at, this is what I want to do to pursue something with the state, then the local one will save you that headache. At the same time, if you're looking at working for a multinational, and these are the realities, then any multinational, just imagine that you're going to work for Schlumberger, and their general manager is from Belarus, and then you come there and you are applying and you say your MBA is from IMAS Business School. Oh, wow, IMAS Business School is coming from that part of Europe, and he knows the strength of their own education. Now, the first thing he wants to do is he will favor you because he thinks that you've had that kind of education. And so he, like I said before, the perception is that their own education is better. So he favors you. But he, because it's a private company, does not require you to bring an equivalence. So your certificate, immediately he takes it and it's okay. He doesn't require an equivalence. That is why you would find that more than 98% of the alumni who study with their own business, they are working for Gaz de Cameroon, they are working for Adax Petroleum, they are working for, they did not require them to go and bring an equivalence, because those are not Cameroonian companies, you understand? Even if they are Cameroonian companies, they are not the government. It's only when you want to do something with the government that they will ask you for the equivalence. So this explanation should already be helping you to see the advantages and the disadvantages. Now, the second thing is, remember I said, before you choose anyone, think of what you want to do. What are your career aspirations? The second thing is, many of us now want to go to Canada. Talking about this because we're in Cameroon, this is a Cameroonian classroom. And so to go to Canada, you require what they call the WES, which is another kind of equivalent. Now, that one is not done by Cameroon, it's done by an NGO in Canada to give you an evaluation of what you have studied. Now, WES mostly works with state universities, so they understand the state university curriculum. They understand that very well. And so immediately they see that your certificate is from a state university, they will give you WES. WES, okay, it's okay, they know that. Now they work with only few business schools in the world, business schools that have gone to WES and presented their curriculum to WES and told WES that this is what we do, these are our credit systems and all of that. WES says, okay, now we understand, so we can give an okay for your graduates. The difficulty is that most business schools around here, especially Europe, don't know about WES. So when you go to them and you say WES, they say, what is WES? Because WES is Canadian. They tell you that what is WES. I remember I had a conversation with both IMAS and Rome Business School. I told them, why don't we present our curriculum to WES? Because most African students, once they have a master's degree, they want to go to Canada. So let us go to WES, present our curriculum, have these meetings with them so that they get to understand. And they told me they don't need that. What is WES? What's the benefit of WES? They don't need it. So to them, it's crazy. They don't want to think that WES thinks, Canada thinks that they are superior to us in education. So we are not going to them. We are not doing that. Then I told them it's penalizing our students who want it, and they cannot get it because you think it's not necessary. Now, this is just to put you in context again. What do you want to do with a master's degree at the end of the day? Do you want it because you want to move to Canada? Then you already know which one would be easy for you. So just go and get the WES evaluation and move. So do you want to work in academia in Cameroon, like to stay in the state universities? You already know which one would be easy for you. Are you looking at working for multinational companies or moving abroad to work for an international company? You already know which one is easy for you. And now the last thing that I'll talk about, the cost. Each of these, now they have a cost advantage depending on where you're standing. The University of Buea, the cost for us managing it is lower, and for you definitely is going to be lower. Followed by maybe IMAS, yes. And then the most expensive is the Netherlands Business Academy because it entails also the move to the Netherlands. Maybe if you're already working, it becomes tight for you to move out for the entire semester. So I've just given you the advantages and the disadvantages, I don't know, but the constraints. So it's just up to you now to think, what is it that I want to do with this master's degree? Then you'll be able to make the right choice as to which one to choose. I hope I answered your question.
You have mine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, there's a question here.
We have some questions for you on the chat.
Okay.
The first question is, I wish to find out if the top-up MSc program is a separate program, or as we have enrolled in Phonic Business School, do we have access to the top-up MSc?
Oh, well, the top-up MSc is, like I explained earlier, it's for people who already have the MBA. So the courses are different even. The courses are not the same. And they run side by side. So you even if you have access, you may not be able to even take the two. The thing is that the entry requirement into a top-up MSc is an MBA, the 1-year MBA. That is the entry requirement. So if you do not have the 1-year MBA, you cannot get into the top-up MSc class, because it's like you leave from class 6, it's now class 6, from class 6 now, and you want to enter from 2. No, you have to first of all leave from class 6 and you enter from 1 first before you enter from 2. That's how it is structured. So it is a separate program for people who already have the 1-year MBA and they want to now have the top-up MSc. And most of them want it like this because they don't want to go through the hassle of the equivalence. They want to do things in Cameroon. They have their MBA maybe from outside, from some place, and they don't want to go through the how many years of waiting for an equivalence. They just use these 9 months, do a top-up MSc, and then they can use the certificate without needing an equivalence. That's why most people will come for the top-up MSc program. But you must have the MBA first before you can be admitted.
Okay, the next question is, the person said, thank you, Dr. Fotabe. For the UB MBA, do we also have project defense at the university?
Well, I don't know why the question is sounding to me like a trap. I hope that this person is not thinking of, Renee, I hope you are not thinking of escaping because of the projects. Yes, every master's degree has defense. So yes, yeah, there are no other ways out. You have to still defend. I hope I answered that question.
Mala, there was another question. The person was asking if they have an MBA in marketing, can they do a top-up MSc in project management?
Those are normally UB will not accept, but we still have the opportunity of applying for. If they reject, okay. If they accept, fine. They want to see the courses that you have completed and whether you've been able to do some courses that will permit you to fit in that class. So you have to apply for it, and then they see with your transcript. I cannot say that because I am not in the UB admissions committee, but we know that the admission requirements would want you to just continue in the same path. That's the admission requirement. But now, whether they can let you is something else that they may have to evaluate, maybe your background and all those other things. They can decide.
So there is still another question. In your experience, are there international funding programs that are dependent on where you earn a master's degree?
No, definitely not. Most times, those programs they are specific to the needs of who wants to fund, not where you have studied. Most times it's what is it that the program is looking at, not where you're coming from. Most times it's not like that.
So I think that is all for the questions.
I see another question in the chat.
Okay, I wish to find out how exams for the top-up MSc will be done.
Written exams and presentations as well. It's a melange, but it's more written.
Okay, ma'am, please, I have one last question.
Yeah, I'll come to
One
you,
last question.
Mr. Ngome, I'll come to you. I think I see a question here from Mukede. He says, thank you, Dr. Fotabe. Please, does UB accept his own MBA holders for a PhD in UB? No. That's why there's a top-up. Unfortunately, no. Because their entry requirement for PhD is MSc. So if you do their MBA, you have to do the top-up MSc as well. Well, anyway, in the last meeting we had with them, that's something that they too were fighting with the ministry, trying to see why we are teaching the students, our lecturers, the curriculum is ours, everything. Why don't you just let our students who have done the 2-year MBA to just move to the PhD? That's something that they are fighting. Who knows, at any moment something can change, because a lot is changing these days. But as at now, no, they were not accepting. Yes, Mr. Ngome, you can ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask a question in relation to the response you've just given. Because from your explanation, it seems as if you do the 1-year MBA, there's no quick escape route to a PhD.
No. In Cameroon, you can get it elsewhere, but not in Cameroon.
Okay, but I was thinking aloud. Now that the University of Where certified MBA will last for 2 years, I was thinking, would a holder of that MBA require a top-up? You have given a similar response. But I was thinking aloud, why would that graduate require a top-up, given that he did not take a quick escape route to an MBA in the first place?
Like I said, higher education is very complicated. Their problem is just that it is not the MSc. But here is the thing, and I always ask them this question. Now, if we are looking at the number of credits, for example, they've designed our own programs in such a way that the credits match the MSc credits. They are the same number of credits. So why not just let it? Why? And that's the same question to that they too are asking. So for now, I don't know. We'll have a meeting with the University of Buea before we resume. Maybe they will give us an answer that we'll come and celebrate with you. For now, that is what the regulation says about it. It should be MSc. So we can hardly say anything more about that.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Do we have any other question? We have used 2 hours already.
Okay. If no further questions, thank you very much for your time.
Excuse me, ma'am, I do have a question.
Please ask.
You made mention of the fact that the top-up MSc is for those who have 1-year MBA program. However, I did a master's program with the Home Business School, and I now applied for a top-up MSc. Does that as well apply to me as well?
Yes, sure. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
So just to be clear, while she's asking that question, so the appellations will make them a little bit, but all of them are master's degree. So if you have master's in international human resource management, it's a master's degree. Master's in business administration is a master's degree. Master's in project management is a master's degree, all of them. So it's just the appellation thing. So thank you very much. I will say thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fotabe. So we started discussing already about the teaching and learning here at Fonid Business School. So we'll just discuss that briefly. I am sharing my slides. So I don't know if you can see my slide.
It's still loading.
So please, can you see my slide now?
It's still loading here.
Loading.
Okay, we can now.
Okay. So we are going to briefly talk about teaching and learning at Fonid Business School. This is very important for us because at Fonid Business School, we believe that education is not just about passing exams and obtaining certifications. It's about transforming lives. That's why all our postgraduate programs for this class, especially the MBA and the top-up MSc programs, they are designed to bridge the gap between theory with real practice. So our goal is to help our students become leaders, innovators, problem solvers in the African and global business landscape. So basically, how would students learn? How do we teach you? At Fonid, we teach differently. Sorry, I am trying to change my slides, but it's not indicating here if it's changing or not. Okay. So how would students be taught? At Fonid, we teach differently. We go beyond the traditional lectures. Yes, of course, students would attend interactive sessions, but these are not one-way lectures where you sit for hours and listen to a lecturer teach you. Rather, I will refer to them as conversation spaces. For example, let's say you're studying marketing strategy. Instead of memorizing theories, a lecturer might ask students to analyze how MTN or Orange Cameroon attracts customers in a competitive market. So we have an interactive sessions where students engage in discussions. Dr. Fotabe earlier said our classes, students will speak 80% and the lecturer will speak 20%. And that's why we use case studies from local and international contexts, real company stories that will challenge students to think critically. And of course, our classes include group discussions, workshops, because at Fonid, we believe that every student has something to teach and something to learn. So if you're quiet today, today is the only day that you'll be quiet. Like Dr. Fotabe earlier said, all our classes are presentation. So you will have an opportunity to teach and to learn at the same time. So we have a program, which is how you will be taught, which I will refer to that program as our Pride program, which is an entrepreneurship laboratory. For our entrepreneurship laboratory, our MBA students are business consultants, not businesses that are frictions, real registered businesses. Our MBA students act as consultants. So through the entrepreneurship laboratory, every student become a doer. How do they do that? They generate business ideas, they design business models, they even go ahead to register startups so they will understand the process of registering a business. They build brands and even implement real revenue strategies. I would want to use an example for a group of students last year. They had a startup that through the entrepreneurship laboratory, they were acting as consultants. That startup is called Fright. Fright is a transport and logistics company that is the movement of people and cargo. So as at the time, this group of students, who call them cohort, receive this company, these were some of the challenges they had to solve. The company was less than 10 months old. The company doesn't own a car or a motorbike. The company faces tough competition. The market is small. So as a cohort, they had to improve the company's brand image by increasing its social media performance on all social media platforms by 500%. They had to increase the clientele base of this company by registering at least 10 new businesses every month, sorry. So they had a lot of challenges. So basically, through the entrepreneurship laboratory, everything they learn in class, they had the opportunity to apply it. Whether they are learning human resource management, whether they are learning economics, whether they are learning financial accounting, the entrepreneurship laboratory gives students the opportunity to put in practice in a real company. They had to apply the models. If it didn't work, they had to correct it. They had to observe it for the period of 12 months, which is a great experience or a great opportunity for students to really apply what they learn. Now, so that is how we teach students. But how would you learn as students? Now, we have just discussed that we believe that learning will stick when you do something with it. So if you learn and you do not have the opportunity to practice it, for example, if you're learning computer and you don't own a computer, or if you're learning driving and you don't own a car, you cannot practice it and it will not stick. That's the same thing with us here. So students learn through collaborative projects, like the project that your class will be assigned to through the eLab. This project will help, it will act as a simulation for real company challenges, like creating a financial plan for a small business. And students also learn through what we call a self-paced learning. We have a learning management system, which we are going to teach you how to use that system. So students learn through that learning management system. You will have access to tutorials, to video lectures, to textbooks, and many other materials. Because for us, we nurture skills for the future. And critical thinking, creativity, and entrepreneurial mindset is what we think that graduates need. At the end of the day, our MBA graduates do not just find jobs, rather they create jobs. And it is our learning process that gives them this ability to be able to create jobs at the end of the day. Even if they are not creating jobs, they create opportunities in wherever they find themselves because of the kind of training they would have received. Students also learn at Phonic Business School through what we call co-curricular activities. These co-curricular activities involves basically three things. We have exchange programs. We have cultural discovery. Dr. Fotabe said you could sit in Cameroon online through our cultural discovery program. You learn something very important about the culture of Indian that is affecting their business environment. And we have what we call Corporate Connect program, where we link students with companies across the industry. So during our exchange programs, we visit companies. We have visited the port of Kribi last time during our exchange program. We have visited Kameko here in Douala. And during our online cultural discovery programs too, we have the opportunity to visit places online. All of this has been designed to help students to learn. And then we have what we call a global business exchange program. It involves many things, and one of them is the study tour. We have a study tour program coming up in December from the 8th to the 14th of December. Our students will be visiting Dubai. And you all would have the opportunity to visit Dubai if you're interested. At the end of this program, I will drop all the information about that visit on your class WhatsApp group. That is a great opportunity for our students to learn, because it gives our students the opportunity to see business at a global level. And many of them are inspired by the innovation, by the discipline that drives these businesses elsewhere apart from Cameroon, which is very, very important. So if I want to summarize our learning approach at FONIC, I would summarize it in 1, 2, 3, 4 main points. Active learning. Students participate in discussions, in simulations, in role plays, and students are active creators, not just passive listeners, especially with the help of our entrepreneurship laboratory. So students do apply learning in a sense that every concept must find life in an e-lab project. For example, probably after learning about financial ratios in class, students must apply that in analyzing their own startup performance. And the learning approach at FONIC Business School is a reflective learning approach that after every major activity, students reflect on what worked, what didn't work, what they will do differently, and all of this will help them to develop important business skills, I would say life skills, which are self-awareness and critical thinking. And the learning is a blended learning. We combine live lectures, in-person live lectures, and online live lectures. Like when you receive your timetable, you realize that for every 2 weeks, we'll have classes on campus for 2 weeks, and the other 2 weeks, it will be online through platforms like Zoom platforms, because the combination of this in-person and online learning, it will be very flexible, especially for people who are professionals, which I know all of you are professionals. It will help you to be able to balance work and school. Because at the end of the day, your journey at FONIC is not just an academic one, it's a personal one and a transformational one. So students evolve from learners to leaders, and from employees to employers, and definitely from thinkers to doers. So I would say that the teaching and learning approach of FONIC Business School is built on one promise. Every student will leave with both knowledge and working experience through our e-lab program, through our co-curricular programs, and through our blended learning program. FONIC Business School is shaping a new generation of leaders who understands Africa and who can work and excel in a global working environment. That's basically what I will have to say about the teaching and learning at FONIC Business School, because we have already discussed that a lot. And if you have questions, you can ask questions.
So if no questions, maybe they are still thinking about their questions. We'll just quickly talk about the use of the learning management system, and then we can come back to their questions, if that's okay.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Just a quick one, madam, concerning learning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, madam, you acknowledge that many of us, if not all of us, are working. In fact, our weekdays are occupied since we work. I just wanted to know because you mentioned something about blended learning, of course, which I saw while filling the application form. What if someone chooses to study only online? Well, I acknowledge the importance of face-to-face interaction with a lecturer. It's important. If one must attend a class, would these classes be during weekend or during weekdays?
Okay, the classes are on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Fridays mostly from 6:30, Saturdays from 2, Sundays from 2 p.m.
Okay, ma'am.
I think I see a question in the chat. Will the top-up MSc students also be part of the E-Lab program? No, they will not be. They have
No,
a
they are-
entrepreneurship and creativity, but they are not part of the E-Lab program.
I
Okay.
think we can just continue with how to use the learning management system.
Okay. Let's see. Can everyone see my screen? This is going to be very brief. I just want to show you which ones to
Yes,
take.
ma'am, we can see your screen.
Okay, I want to first of all apologize to Kelly for using her details for this demonstration. I didn't ask prior. So of course your password is not going to be seen. It is just for a demonstration. So our learning management system, you can open any browser, and please you can take it down. You can open any browser and you type elearning.funic.co/login. Any browser, you can see up here highlighted elearning.funic.co/login, and it will get you to this place, this page which you see in front of me here. This. Now, then you'll be required to put in your details that you will collect in your admission kit. Your admission kit will have your login details. So when you collect your login details, there will be a document there that will tell you that these are your login details. You always use them for the learning management system. So when you put in your email and your password, you can sign into the learning management system. Very good. So this is how the learning management system looks like. Okay, you can decide to save it, right? You can decide to save it. So it is showing welcome back because I had opened this today to check the student's account. Now, everything that you would need to do is on the left side of your screen. On this left side of your screen, you will see home, dashboard, profile, grades, courses, library, and then you can log out. Everything in your learning management system. Now, what you will be seeing here is kind of a plain, it's like a plain sheet because you have not started. Once you start your program, you will find that every day your lecturers will be populating your dashboard with assignments, with things. So now if I open that, you may not see much, but very soon as your lecturers start working with you, you'll be receiving notifications every day that there is an assignment. You have to log in, complete your assignment, upload. When they correct your assignments, you will receive a login that they have corrected your assignment. You can go see the marks that you received. If when you write exams, and the day that the lecturers have corrected the exams, you'll be able to check your grades and see the exams and all of that. The library, you'll be able to find books if you need to do research. So this is how your learning management system will look like. If you click on dashboard, it brings you here. So this is to tell you that this is your dashboard. This is your dashboard. The next thing that I am looking at is top right. Top right is you're supposed to, I don't know if anybody even sees my point, I don't know. But top right, there is a small, very faint image. You need to be able to come here and they would help you, the office will help you to put your photo, right? Your photo will be added here so that they can see, you'll be able to see your photo. If you want to see what it looks like, there are two places. This is profile. You come back to the left, there is profile. Same thing. So if you click on your profile, you see, this is your profile. Every student is supposed to be able to add information, all this information here. And come here, you see where you have this small photo above your name. There is something that looks like a small pen. When you click on it, you can be able to add your own photo by yourself, okay? So add your photo, we need it, we need to see it. Here you can see other things like courses, achievements, activities, but I like to tell students that this place, use it only if you need to upgrade, to update your profile. This place for profile, use just when you are updating your profile. Once you are done here, get out of this place. Every other thing that you want to do as a student, do it on this right side of your dashboard. The left side of your dashboard. Now, the next thing is you can see your grades. This one is telling you that there's nothing to display because you don't have any grades. You have not written any exam, so there is nothing that you can see here. But if you had written exams, everything, you will see your grades here, you see your course, you see the year, you see what you scored for the CA, what you scored for the exam, the total score and the grade. Whether it's an A grade, it's a B grade, or what, you will see it inside here once you start working. Now, the next thing on your left here is courses. This is where you would find all your courses. Now, when you come to courses, you find that there is a drop-down button. There's a small drop-down button beside courses. When you click on that drop-down button, there are two things that you see there. You see courses again, and then you see assignments. So courses, when you click on courses, you will see all the courses that are in your dashboard. You see, you are seeing all your courses. These are the courses that you are taking right now. Courses that you are not taking right now will not appear. So these are first semester courses that you are seeing here. Applied business research. You have forms. There are forms here that you have to open, you download, right? You open, you download forms that you have to fill. For example, if you come here, you will see some of the forms. Course registration form, first semester exam registration form, receipt forms, and the rest. So when you open it, you can come now to this place on your right where you see in progress or resume. When you click on it, you can begin to download the forms. Most times when you have already downloaded ones, the next time it blocks, you cannot go there. That's why I'm avoiding to download anything. Now, we are still in courses. you would see all your courses. Once lectures begin and lecturers are teaching in class, all the lectures will be recorded and will be uploaded here. So when you miss a class, you come back in here, you can now follow the video. The video will be there. You can watch the video again if you miss the class. You will take your assignments, you do everything. The videos are put there after the class for students to be able to catch up, students who miss classes. Please, don't stay away from classes because you know that the video lectures will be there, so that you will just come and follow the videos. You agree with me that it is very difficult for you to watch a 2-hour class on video, recorded video, than to be in class for those 2 hours. It is true that you can also forget concepts. Maybe you are preparing for exams. You think that, okay, I have some 2 days to prepare for exams. I'll watch 1 hour, then I watch 1 hour just to prepare for exams. That's better. But please don't miss classes because you know that you will come here and you will be able to find all the videos. So for now, like I said, it's a plain sheet. Those of you who already did their MBA with us, they know that they used to have all the videos already put there. Now it's a clean slate. We have not uploaded any videos because the lectures have not begun. Once the lectures begin, the very next day after the lecture, you'll find the video in your dashboard. You can come here, you watch your video. Here you also find course descriptions. You also find, for example, if I open managerial career readiness, for instance, here, you would see course, the managerial career readiness, the description, you see the learning outcomes, everything is there. So it can help you to prepare for the course, besides the fact that you also have your videos if you have missed classes. So that is for courses. You also find assignments here. Once the assignments are uploaded by the lecturers, you will receive a notification. If you can see this pointer up right, you see top right, there's something that looks like a bell, a small icon that looks like a bell. You will see notifications there. You will see, if there is one notification, you will see one written in red, just like WhatsApp. When there's a new message, WhatsApp, you will see one circled in red telling you that you have one new message. It's the same here. You will see one notification to tell you that there is a notification. You just come and click here on this bell. See, it tells you that there are notifications. If there are any notifications, you will see them there. So that's that. The library, this is the library. When you click on the left, you see all the books in the library. These are all the books, right? The book name, Essentials of Human Resource Management, 5th edition, for example. And then you click on it. You can come here and download the book. So, and this is a preview of the book. So if you're looking for books, you can also come here and you find your book. This is Introduction to Psychology, Introduction to Mass Communication. Right, you go to the second, there are lots of books. If you need books, you will come here and you will find the International Handbook of Shipping Finance, Business Law, Regulatory Landscape of finance institutions. It depends on what you're looking for. Principles of Corporate Finance, Law and Economics. You have all the books that you will need there in your dashboard. You can find Principles of Marketing and so on. So you can also search for the books up here. You search for the subject or you use keywords to search and you'll be able to show you the books that are available. And we continue to increase the number of books as we are doing research. We are coming across new books. We'll be finding more books for you. So this is basically it about using the learning management system. It's very easy to use, very easy to navigate. During your first class, again, your lecturer will help you in class to be able to see their assignments, so you will navigate. I know that right now, because many people don't have their login details yet. It's difficult to forget all these things I've said before they receive their login details. So once you receive your login details, open your browser, type elearning.funic.co/login. You put in your email, you put in your password. Once you open it, you will be brought to this place, which is your dashboard. You'll be brought here to this screen, which is your dashboard. And then just focus on your left, everything that you want to see, left side of the screen, where you see profile, go there and add your photo, your telephone number, your email address, save it, get out of there, come back, left side, courses, click on the drop down button, you can see the courses, you can see assignments, library is there. If you want to log out of, if maybe you are using an office machine to study, you want to log out, you click on log out and you log out. If I do it now, I have logged out and I've come back to the login page. You see that? So it's very easy to use it. Everything will be there. Once there are videos there, you just go in there, you'll see the video will appear, you click on the video and you start watching. So it's very easy to do that. Okay, this was not supposed to take long. I think I'm done with this. If there are any questions, you can ask, but don't worry, once you start collecting your admission kits, anytime you try to log in and you have any difficulties, you can drop the difficulty in the chat room, in the WhatsApp chat room, and somebody will help you with that. Okay, thank you so much. Madam Lucy, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fotabe. Can we have remarks? If there are no questions, a few people on behalf of the class can just unmute their microphone and tell us their remarks about everything that have been discussed today.
No, Madam Lucy, I'll just respond to Thelma. Thelma was talking about work days from Tuesday to Saturday. If it will be a problem because she will miss Friday classes and or she may miss Saturday classes as well. It's okay. Friday classes are in the evenings. If you can meet up to come to class, it's okay. If you cannot meet up because of work, it's fine. That's why I was just talking a while ago about all the lectures being uploaded. All the videos will be uploaded on the platform so you can catch up. Of course, as a teacher, I'll always advise that if it is possible, come to class, because those physical interactions are very important. You can ask questions. That is true that when you follow the videos, you can still ask questions to the lecturers and all of that. But if you have the possibility of being in class, it's always a good thing to be in class. But it's not a problem if you're in Bamenda or you are in, right now we have students in the US, we have in Canada, we have in Cameroon, we have in Yaoundé, we have in Bamenda, we have in Kumba, we have everywhere. They still work, even their group cohort activities, they still do them together. It's no problem. Just that if it is possible to come and meet physically the lecturers, it's a good thing. But there are things that we don't negotiate, like the executive weekends that you must be present is very imperative. Most times it's every quarter, so it's just Saturday and Sunday. People used to always obtain permission. International study tours, of course, those ones are announced well ahead of time so that you can obtain permission. Those are the times that we need to meet physically to do things. Those ones, it's always very good that we don't negotiate. When you receive your admission kits, you would see the academic calendar. So you see all those places where we will have those activities, and you can always prepare ahead of time so that you are part of them physically as well.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Please, can we know the timeline, like the first semester course completion, the deadlines, exams dates? All of that will be in your calendar.
Yes. You receive the calendar, you can be able to, because we cannot even remember the dates now, but when you receive your calendar, you will find all those things.
So is there any remark? Is there anybody that will speak on behalf of this class?
I see Mr. Ngome is smiling, so definitely it's right.
Well, not really, madam. I'm just so impressed about the learning management system. So impressed as you. In fact, I was closely following as you took a tour around it. It's great. It's great. It's good because I was wondering how some of these things were going to happen, but I think I'm getting a clearer picture now, and I'm glad. I'm excited about it, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody that wants to talk about our learning and teaching methodology so far from what you have heard? Is it something that you knew before? Is it something new? Is there any remark on that?
Okay, Renee, it's okay. I think that we are okay. What Madaita was asking was general impressions. What are your general impressions? Are you scared? Are you happy? Are you prepared? Are you challenged? Did Dr. Fotabe mess up in her presentation? Did she talk too much? Is the learning management system too difficult? Those general remarks, that's what she wants. If there's anyone who feels moved to just.
Hello.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, this is Kelly here. So I'm truly excited to be part of this business school. Although I'm currently not in Cameroon, I'm in Ethiopia for a conference. I couldn't miss this session. So I would like to thank Madam Lucy so much for encouraging me to be part of this session today. And I'm quite impressed with the learning system, and I look forward to be part of this great institution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we look forward to learning a lot from Ethiopia. So
actually, yeah. I'm not based here. I just came here for a conference. Yeah.
Okay. So you will share with us some of the things you learned from the conference. That's what makes this kind of learning interesting, because we share a lot of experiences and things that can help. Maybe that conference can help someone in class yes, that's what we do. So we like to, there'll be time when we'll have these issues discussed in class and people will share their experiences and how others can benefit. So we look forward to knowing something at least little about Ethiopia. I've been there once, not for long, so I know very little about them. But I'm sure you will have more to share about their food, their culture, things like that. We would like to hear.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, Thelma.
This is Thelma, and I would like to say
Okay.
I'm excited about this journey.
It would really be great if for Nick editions, because it was actually an African Skills Week.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. We would like to share. Kelly, you'll tell us more about it. Thank you so much. Thelma, sorry about that. Thelma, you can go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that I'm excited about this journey in Fotabe Business School. At least now I have a better understanding of the school, unlike before. Like I just had a general view about it, and now I can boldly explain about Fotabe Business School to someone to yes, which is because of the presentation from Madam Lucy and Dr. Fotabe. So thank you so much for the presentation and everything. It's a great privilege to be part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that feedback. Thanks a lot. And the most important thing is
you now being able to tell someone about where you studied, because that's where the secret is. I always tell people when I talk to them about sales, you cannot sell a product that you don't master. So the best thing is to first of all know where you are, know where you belong, and then you can sell yourself. At the end of the day, tell somebody that this is the value that I can bring to this organization because this is where I studied. These are the values of the place where I studied. It's very important. So thank you for that feedback. Thank you, Madam Etta. I think I am good.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fotabe. As we have come to the end of this orientation ceremony, I would want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank you very much, Dr. Fotabe, for being here. We also have Dr. Che, our finance director. She's here with us. Thank you very much, Dr. Che, for being here. And to our new students, you are no longer just visitors. You are now value members of our Phonic Business School community. And as you have heard today, this is a place where potential is nurtured and where excellence is pursued and where your dreams will be challenged into action. Remember that success at Phonic Business School is not about grades. It's about growth. It's about building meaningful connections, embracing innovation, and developing the mindset of a true business leader. So we encourage you to stay curious, stay committed, never be afraid to ask for help when you will need it. There is an entire community where you will meet mentors, professionals, peers who are ready to walk this journey with you. And on behalf of the entire Phonic Business School administration, I would want to say welcome and thank you again for choosing Phonic Business School. We are excited to see everything you accomplish for the next 1 to 2 years. And we are excited for the remarkable academic and professional journey ahead. So thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.